One of the realities of burnout, it can happen for many reasons, but one of the reasons that it can happen is that you just don't feel fulfilled. You feel like I'm the proverbial hamster on the treadmill. And one of the ways that you can avoid burnout is to know yourself. Dr. Pankey shared so usefully that if a dentist is going to achieve their full potential, they need to know four things. They need to know themselves. They need to know their work. They need to know their patient. And number four, they need to apply their knowledge. So relative to that know yourself piece, the first thing that Dr. Pankey said you need to know, I think there's some misperception in our profession that in order to be successful in 2022 or 2023, soon to be and beyond, that you need to do everything. You need to do absolutely everything. You need to be kind of a super generalist, or a term that I've heard used. Now, have you ever heard the term used, decathlete dentist?
Yes,
You ever heard
yes,
that? What does
yes.
that mean to you?
It's like jack of all trades,
Mhm.
somebody who can do anything and everything.
Well, think of the actual athlete, the
Yeah.
decathlete. They have to do 10 events, hence the term decathlete. They
Hmm.
do 10 events, and they have to be really good at 10 events. And they're diverse events. Like some of them are running events, and another one is throwing the javelin. That's one of the 10 events, and those skills don't necessarily match up. In other words, someone that's good on the track, running the 1500 meters, is not necessarily someone that's going to be good at throwing a javelin, because they're kind of different types of athletic endeavors. Now, there are rare individuals that can do all 10 of those events really well. And there are rare dentists that can do every aspect of dentistry very well, and they enjoy it. Now, notice I added the second caveat, and they enjoy it.
Yes,
So I think
yes,
one of the ways that you can avert, because I want to make this a tactical episode, not just talk about the challenge of burnout, but let's talk about what you can do about it. I think one of the things you can do about it is know yourself, know what you like, also know what you don't like. Jim Collins said one of the points in the book in his book, Good to Great, that is often overlooked because he talks about so many brilliant concepts. But one that's often overlooked, he talks about how most achievers have a to-do list. Whether it be daily or weekly or monthly or quarterly or whatever, we have to-do lists.
right,
But he also pointed out that if you want to be really effective, create a stop doing list.
right.
Stop doing a list to make room for doing more of what you want to do. And he's right. What I would suggest to all of our listeners, one of the ways you can avoid burnout is identify what you like, identify what you enjoy, also identify what you don't want to do, and direct your practice that way based on your lists. You don't have to do everything at all, especially if you're in an urban or suburban area where we have access to very, very talented specialists that can be part of our extended team, to provide care to your patients. And so one of my tips to avoid burnout is to discover, know what you really like to do and build an intentional practice doing more of that. If you like to do it, guess what, Naren? You're going to typically be pretty good at it because you like to do it. And you're going to take a lot of CE in it because you enjoy learning more about it. And if you enjoy something, the concept of burnout really is kind of evaporates because you're really enjoying yourself.